Hey guys, Jeeps here, and welcome back to Tribes Ascend! So today we're going to be taking a look at everybody's favorite capping class, the Pathfinder, to see what they got in the Accelerate update. So, as usual, we have a new primary weapon, a new secondary weapon, and a new belt item. So let's take a look down the list and see what we got. Replacing the Light Spinfusor, we now have the Dueling Spinfusor. These weapons are very similar. The only difference is the Dueling Spinfusor has a lower blast radius and does higher damage on a direct hit, doing, I believe, around 880. We'll see the exact numbers in a minute. And other than that, it does the exact same damage on a splash. As far as disc jumping goes, it's identical to the Light Spinfusor as far as I can tell. The knockback is the same, I believe, and the splash damage isn't any higher, so it won't kill you any quicker. Now, I don't know how useful this could really be. I could see it being kind of nice for capping, because the higher direct hit damage means, I guess, a higher chance at being able to take down that force field that might still be left up, or something like that. Again, the lower splash radius means you might miss more often, but other than that, I don't know. I could actually see the Dueling Spinfusor being a slightly better option. Again, just that higher direct hit damage, you might take out that heavy, because you can probably get a direct hit on him, and hell, you can take out that force field, or whatever else might be standing in your way. So, now let's take a look at the secondary weapon. In place of the shotgun, we now have the Holdout Shotgun. Holdout Shotgun has a smaller clip size. Actually, it's a very small clip size. There's 4 starting, so 5 maxed out. But does pretty crazy damage. Now, the shotguns are hit-scan weapons, and they shoot out, I believe it's 8, little shots, I guess. Sorry, I couldn't think of a good word for that. And, the little bursts, how a shotgun works. And the normal shotgun for the Pathfinder, it's on, before fall-off, it's 80 per shot if you hit with all of them. So that's pretty good right there. The Holdout Shotgun is 90 per shot, which, yeah, it's only 10 more, but that's 10 more. That's 8 shots. Do the math. That's quite a lot of extra damage. So yeah, case in point, this thing is frightening up close. I don't really know how useful shotguns are generally considered. I know for chasing, the light assault rifle is the go-to item because range. It gives you a long-range weapon. And for capping, I don't think it matters too much. Really, it's your disc jumping weapon that's more important. So again, this one could be completely personal preference because there aren't a lot of situations where you're really using these. You're only using them in really close-up duels. However, in that situation, just the sheer stopping power of the Holdout Shotgun would probably win it out for me. Lastly, and this one I actually think is very interesting, we have a new Nitron. We have the Compact Nitron in place of the Impact Nitron. Now, the Compact Nitron has a much lower knockback, so for cappers, this is probably not worth it. Because you mostly are using your Nitrons to build up speed on your route before you hit the flag, because you can't use them after the flag. If you were going to do that, if you really wanted to, you'd be taking explosive Nitrons anyway. I don't know if anyone does that. I don't cap. But, well, I don't cap well. Let's leave it at that. However, the Compact Nitron still does force flag drops like the Impact Nitron, and you can carry one more of them. This seems like, for chasers, and, Light D, who are chasing after a capper, using the thrust pack and trying to knock the flag out of their hands, I don't see why you wouldn't take this over the Impact Nitron. I guess you still won't be able to use the Nitrons to help build up extra speed to catch them, but that's what the thrust pack's for, and you can still disc jump or bolt jump after them. And the one extra Nitron seems pretty worth it. Again, I could be wrong on this, but I could see having that one extra toss of a Nitron to get that flag out of the enemy hands being very well worth it, even if it does sacrifice some mobility to give you that. Alright, well that's our 3 new upgrades for the Pathfinder. However, there's one last thing I feel we should look at while we're talking about cappers and chasers. This isn't specific to Pathfinders, but there was also a new perk added in this update called Lightweight. I believe that was a secondary. Yes. Lightweight decreases all your mass by 30% all the time. So disc jumps, explosive jumps are much, much longer range. However, it is a downside of it triples the delay before your health regen starts. They recommend this for advanced players only, and I can see why. That's a pretty big downside. However, that is pretty powerful disc jumps. I don't know how useful this perk is. As you can see, I haven't unlocked it. I have little use for it, but that's because I'm not an advanced player, to use their words. So I probably won't be bothering with lightweight, but I felt, while we're talking about the general capping and chasing class, it was worth bringing up the lightweight perk. So there's also this. However, any class has access to lightweight. Alright, well, let's go hop into some target practice. Let me show you the exact numbers for these weapons. Then we'll draw a conclusion. Alright, see you guys in there. Alrighty, here we are. Let's go find our 3 favorite stationary bots to test out some damage numbers, shall we? First of all, Dueling Spinfusor. Like I said, does 880 damage on a direct hit. Splash damage, however, 550 at the close range. It's unchanged from the Light Spinfusor, so a 330 damage difference. That's pretty huge between a direct hit and indirect hit. Yes, Spinfusors always have a pretty decent damage difference, but this one's pretty gigantic. Now, it is worth noting, I had forgotten to mention this before, this actually brings the Dueling Spinfusor's direct hit damage up to higher than the Bolt Launcher, which does 877. Admittedly, it's 3 higher, so it's effectively it's about the same. The Bolt Launcher will have higher splash damage and does have a higher blast radius, but if you are a really good shot, I could see this being a cheaper and arguably better alternative to the Bolt Launcher, because it's easier to hit with, being that it's a Spinfusor, direct line. Don't have to worry about fall off. So that could be a popular option for people who are a fan of the Bolt Launcher and are a much better shot than I am. Next, Holdout Shotgun. This thing is truly terrifying. As you can notice, I'm down a heavy in 4 shots. That's pretty quick. And a heavy you'll be hitting pretty reliably with all of them. Admittedly, this is against one standing still, not fighting back. But that is pretty frightening. I mean, this thing does 720 damage if you hit with all of them before damage range fall off. That's pretty scary. It's 80 more than the regular shotgun does. However, smaller clip size, so there is that. Lastly, and the damage is not important for these, but worth seeing the knockback difference, you have the Compact Nitron. As you can see, you get 5 of these. You'd have 6, I guess, if you took safety third, which I don't, but... or I don't have on this, but yeah, 5 of them standard. That's pretty awesome for chasing and knocking flags, or just light D in general. And the knockback is still decent. Let's just get a nice comparison. You know, a nice unscientific comparison, because I'm not really measuring this through any reasonable amount, but just, you can eyeball it. That was still a Compact Nitron. Thanks for that. Please give me my actual Nitron now. Are you going to switch? It did not switch. Alright, hold on. I will make this work. We're just going to go to an inventory station. Hold on. We got to see this. This is important. I apologize for the slight unprofessionalism of everything right now. Alright, Impact Nitron. How far do you knock them back? Okay, that's a pretty decent distance farther. So that is worth it. The Impact Nitron probably still going to be better for jumping around. Probably get the Bolt Launcher out. Let's just shoot these fools. 877. That's some nice direct hit damage there. I love the Bolt Launcher. Anyways, guys, that is a rundown of the new weapons for the Pathfinder from the Accelerate update. As always, like, thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you have a comment, please leave it in the box below. I do read them. Hope you've enjoyed your time with me today. I've been Jeeps. Talk to you guys later.